Hey, what's up, my peoples? I thought I would take a look at the Black Series 6-inch scaled Kanan Jarrus figure. So here we are, and there he is, and you can see that I posed him with Vader to save time for, doing this. So we'll move Vader off to the side, and with Kanan, we'll move him to the side so we can take a look at the packaging he comes in. So here it is, right up front here. Very awesome artwork of Kanan in realistic form. I love it, I love it, I love it. His name is Kanan Jarrus. Warning, please don't eat anything in this box. That would be very bad for you. And at the top it says Star Wars The Black Series, Sorry, I tried to sound cool, but I didn't. Just sounded like a doofus. Anyway, you got Kanan Jarrus right there, and Kanan, kind of a dark gray. And on this side, you have a bunch of red. He's number 19 in the line. So there you have that. On the back of the box, you have your descriptions in multiple languages. So if you want to read that, you can pause it and read it. Hooray for languages. Awesome picture of Kanan, number 19, Black Series. And you got the Disney logo right here, because Disney now owns Star Wars. And that's basically it for the packaging. I'm not going to throw it. I am not going to throw this because I love the artwork. I'm going to keep the boxes of all of my realistic figures, except for the ones that aren't the actual box. But anyway, here is Kanan Jarrus, and he is very, very cool. Yeah, like I said, he is very, very cool. As you will kind of see me in the background of my mirrors, I do apologize for that. But he's not without his faults, and one of them being that, I do like that, or I don't really care for the single jointed elbows, but with these on top of the wrists hinging side to side like that, it is hard to get him to hold the lightsaber, which is a bit unfortunate, but, with one hand it's not hard, but with two hands it's a bit of a challenge, and it takes some finessing and stuff, so there you have that. But, let's take a quick look at the detail. And I scratch my head. So let's get a bit of a zoom in on that head sculpt. Very nice head sculpt. He's got his little goatee there with his eyebrows picked out in brown. And it is a little hard to see, but his eyes are picked out in blue, obviously with a black pupil and everything. And very cool design from season 1 and 2 of Rebels. I do like it. So yeah, you got some silver here and there, some dark green, some olive green, and some baby blue for the pants. So yeah, very cool. And let's zoom back so we can take a look at his articulation. Now, articulation-wise, he has a ball-jointed head on a hinge, so even with a ponytail, he can look up pretty good. Like, that's really good. He can look down that far. So there we have that. And he also swivels as the head, and he doesn't have head pivots. Now, it is a little more limited on this side because of the giant shoulder pad with a really cool logo. I don't know what logo that is, but if someone knows, feel free to tell me. But anyway, This shoulder can move out that far, although this shoulder, because it has no shoulder pad, can move out a full 90 degrees. So there you have that. And so the shoulders are ball hinged. He has ball hinged elbows, which on this one doesn't go up quite 90. And this one does meet 90, maybe slightly more. And he, like I said, he does have the ball hinged wrist that hinge side to side, which again, I do wish this one was an up and down kind of motion, but you know, it's okay. I want to assume he has a ball jointed torso, but you can't really get him moving all that much. I mean, he gets a little bit of pivot, but it's mostly a swivel, so it is a little unfortunate, but it's okay. He has ball jointed hips, which on this one it is limited due to the holster, but you can still get kick up that far. But on this side, you can get that far. He has a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and he has ball hinged ankles that move down that far, up a pretty good amount, and he has an ankle rocker. You gotta love that ankle pivot. So there you have that. So we'll just get him situated. And you already saw him next to Darth Vader, but here he is with one of his buddies that people tend to ship him with, even though he has a girlfriend. Ahsoka. Sometimes people do ship this. I mean, I don't mind it, but I'd rather them be friends because Kanan has Hera, which I will be getting when she comes out, and I'm so excited for her and Thrawn. Those two are two of my most wanted 6-inch figures so far. Well, them, Gree, a couple of repacked stormtroopers, and you go, or you stay, you go. And obviously the upcoming Captain Rex. I mean, did you see Rex? Did you see him? If you haven't, you better go find some pictures of him and look at how amazing he is. But yeah. Oh, and before I forget, let's take a look at his lightsaber, which is a little warped, but you know, it's not too big of a deal. But there you go. You got some kind of gunmetal gray on this part of the hilt, mostly done in silver. And he does have a little ring right here, or hoop, but this doesn't hook on to anything. Although I guess, hold on, let me see. I guess if you wanted Ahsoka to carry it, you can clip it onto her belt. So it does hook onto hooks on their belts or hips or whatever, but I don't know why you would want to do it, so I mean, just saying. And the blade, you know, it's a let me get some light in here. There we go. It isn't the most vibrant blue, it's more of a baby transparent blue. I mean, not as pale as Ahsoka's lightsaber blades, but still, I wish it was a little brighter, but still pretty good. And you can separate this from the hilt. See, there's just a little mushroom peg there, so that you can remove that. And you can store this on Kanan now. Because Kanan concealed his lightsaber, he has no kind of hook for his belt. But what you can do is, sorry, I gotta scratch my eyebrow. You can take this, pull it apart, and you take this little piece right here, and you plug it onto his belt in the front, right there. And then for the base of the hilt, just tab it in on the back of his belt. And there you go. And as you can see, he does have a holster that contains a blaster pistol called a Blastech DL-18, which is actually the same kind of blaster pistol that Luke Skywalker used when he was at Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi. You may remember this. And this blaster is available to use in the first EA and DICE Battlefront game, so very nice little pistol. I do like it. And because he has a trigger finger in his right hand, you can proceed to slot it into his hand. And there you go. Now Kanan is using his his blaster pistol, his DL-18 blaster pistol. Oops, I bumped the stacks of boxes that I'm using to elevate my camera. Sorry, but yeah, very cool. And this is also why I wish he had either double jointed elbows or this elbow joint was done a little better, but you know, it still works. It still works. But there you go. There you have Kanan from the Black Series, and he's a really good figure. I do like him. I do kind of wish that these Rebels Black Series figures weren't so hard to find. I was lucky to get this guy for Christmas from my Nana last year, or this last year actually, so Nana, if you're watching, thank you again. I love this thing. I love posing him and taking pictures of him, and I'm actually planning on doing some pretty cool diorama kind of displays after I get all the Rebels figures and I get a bunch of extra Stormtroopers, and I mean, I have Darth Vader, I just don't have the regular Stormtroopers, but after I get at least 6 of them from Hasbro and maybe two or 4 from SH Figure Arts, then I will definitely be displaying, or I will definitely be doing a cool outdoor diorama with this guy, Vader, Ahsoka, maybe, or I'm not too sure about Ahsoka, but she'll most likely be in it, and, you know, the Rebels, cast, like, you know, Kanan right here, and actually another figure that I need to compare him to, that I will be reviewing next, Sabine Wren, and she'll also be in the pictures, and like I said, she'll be in my next review, but, there you go. So, that's pretty much it for Kanan. Like I said, he's a really cool figure. I highly recommend him. I mean, especially if you're a fan of Rebels, and, if you are a fan of Rebels, go out and get yourself a Kanan. And if you're not, then I guess you're not really missing out, but I would get him because, you know, he's getting pretty expensive and hard to find, so, I mean, Sabine was especially hard. Like, I was lucky to find her at Celebration for $30, so, but just to make a quick note, with the lightsaber, it only goes in one way. Like, as you can see, there's a flat edge on this peg, and while it's not as flat as it was before because my brother forced it, it would originally be flat up at the top. And you want these two tabs, this tab and this tab, to align and plug it together. This is how you plug the lightsaber together. You don't do it like this or even like that. No, don't do that. Gotta line up the tabs, and you'll get it. Although the lightsaber blade, if I can get it, it doesn't matter with this, so. But, yeah. And the cool thing is that, you know, you can have him with his blaster and his lightsaber, which is pretty cool, and he has a slight, he has a slightly loose grip, but you can have him hold both weapons, and he does look good doing it. So, I think that's pretty much it. So, there is the Black Series 6-inch Kanan Jarrus, and be on the lookout for Sabine next. So, I'll see you then.